Good morning, student. So, children, let's start the another topic of chapter number 2, and that was type of cooperative society. Student, in the previous video, we have learned about the cooperative society form of organization, its features, and the different advantage and disadvantage which a cooperative society have as a form of business organization. And today in this video we will discuss about the left topic of this cooperative society, that was types of cooperative society. Now student, there are various type of cooperative societies and these types are based on the nature of their operation. It means we are dividing cooperative society on the basis of their operation nature. Now the first type we have, that is consumer cooperative society. Now children, the consumer cooperative society are formed to protect the interest of consumer. So the main work here is, this cooperative society is just to protect the interest of consumer. Now how this interest of consumer can be protected? Simple, by eliminating middlemen from the market. Now children, you have to understand one thing, that when we talk about the market, till the time a product produced by the producer and the time when the product reached to the consumer, there are lots of middlemen who used to work there. And just because these lots of middlemen, the prices of the product which was decided from the producer and the prices of the product which actually taken from the consumer are completely different. Means the consumer has to pay out a more amount of prices for a product which actually has been decided from the producer side as a less amount. And the reason behind this is that there are lots of middlemen. Every middleman is going to take his own or their own commissions. So consumer cooperative society is basically a society which used to protect the interest of consumer by removing these all middlemen and providing a direct link with the producer. It means there will be a direct link between the producer and the consumer. So consumer has to pay out that money which producer has been decided for their particular product. So just because we have removed these middlemen from the market, the product is going to be get from the consumer side in a lesser amount. So by this we used to protect the interest of consumer. Now these all consumer are belong to the cooperative society member only. So it purchase good of daily consumption directly from the manufacturer or wholesaler and sell them to the member at a reasonable prices. It means we have removed retailer from here. Whenever any consumer want to purchase the product, that consumer will directly purchase that product from the producer or the wholesaler, and in that way that product prices will be reasonable because the middleman has been removed. So here children, the member comprise of consumer obtain goods quality product at the reasonable prices. The main aim was there, the society aim is eliminating middlemen to achieve economy in operation. Basically student, in consumer cooperative society, they purchase good in a bulk directly from the wholesaler and sell goods to the member, thereby eliminating the middleman. Or in this case, if there is any profit occurring, so that profit are distributed on the basis of either the capital contribution of the society member or the purchasing made by the individual member. So the first type of nature of cooperative society is consumer cooperative society, which protect the consumer in the market by removing middlemen from the market and directly providing a link between the producer and the consumer. Now come through with the second one. The second type of cooperative society is producer cooperative society. Now student, producer cooperative society or these societies are set up to protect the interest of small producer. Now when we talk about consumer cooperative society, we are protecting the interest of consumer. When we talk about producer cooperative society, we are protecting the interest of small producer who cannot easily collect various items of production and face some problem in the market. These societies purchase raw material, tools, equipment and other item in a large quantity and provide these things to their member at a reasonable prices. So what is happening here in the producer cooperative society? The cooperative society or the producer cooperative society is purchasing the various raw material for the purpose of production, equipments, machinery in a large quantity, and used to provide these all raw material and the equipments to those producer of cooperative society member who are a small producer and who want to produce the goods. So in this way, these all member are getting all those raw material or the equipments in a reasonable prices or in a less prices. So that type of society who work for the interests of producer is called as producer cooperative society. Now next is the third form is marketing cooperative society. Now in marketing cooperative society, it performs various marketing functions such as transportation, warehousing, packing, grading, marketing research, etc. for the benefit of its member. The production of different member is pooled together and sold by society at a good prices. Now student, one thing you have to keep in your mind here, that when we talk about types of cooperative society, all these benefit we are giving benefit to the consumer in consumer cooperative society, producer at producer cooperative society, but these all people are the member of the society, right? So in marketing cooperative society, we used to provide the member of the cooperative society who want to pack their product, who want a storehouses or warehouses for keeping their goods. They want a transportation facility, a grading facility, marketing research. All these benefits we are giving to the member, those who are related with the work of marketing there, right? So in this way, we are trying to sold out their goods in a reasonable prices to the society. Now the next form is farmer cooperative society. It means this society is basically protecting the interest of the cooperative society member who are basically involved in the work of farming. Now in farmers cooperative society, such societies, small farmers join together and pool their resources for cultivating their land collectively. Such societies provide better quality seeds, fertilizer, machinery and other modern technique for use in the cultivation of crops. It provides them opportunity of cultivation on large scale. So basically farmer cooperative society, these society are set up, student, to protect the interest of farmers by providing better input at a reasonable cost. Now what will be the input for the farmers? For the farmers, the input will be providing them seeds, good quality seeds, providing them proper fertilizer, machines and other modern techniques which can be used for the purpose of cultivation. So this is helping them for improving their yields and return to the farmers, but also solve their problem associated with the farming or fragmented land holding. So farmer cooperative societies are in simple all those societies where the farmers are the member of the society, and this society work for protecting the interest of farmer by providing them a better quality of seeds, fertilizer, machines and other modern technique at the time of cultivation of crop. Now next society is type of cooperative society is credit cooperative society. Now as the name is saying, providing credit, it means the society will be providing credit to the members, so that what will happen, the exploitation of money lender can be reduced. Now student, in the credit cooperative societies are set up for providing easy credit on reasonable term to the members. It means we set up these type of society so that in case any member of the cooperative society want credit in easy term, it can be provided from the society only. They don't need to go through with a money lender where they have to do where they have to pay out a high amount of interest. So in this case, what is there, we are protecting the interest of member by providing them a proper credit amount within a less interest rate, and the exploitation of money lender is not possible in this such case. So basically credit cooperative society provide loan to their member at easy term and reasonable low rate of interest. Now next type of cooperative society is cooperative housing society. So cooperative housing society, as the name is saying student, it means this will protect the interest of the member of the society for those people who want to construct the house, and they will provide resources, means the finance, in a reasonable prices so that they can construct their houses. So cooperative housing societies are set up to help people with limited income to construct house at a reasonable cost. The member of these societies consist of people who are desired to make a residential or a house at a lower cost. The aim to solve the housing problem of the member by constructing house and giving the option of paying in installment. So what is happening here in the cooperative housing society? Basically, we are protecting the interest of the members, especially for those members who have a dream to make the house, but because they have a limited income, they are not able to do it. So the cooperative society or cooperative housing society is providing them loan so that they can make their houses. They can provide them land also, and this amount can be repaid into installment so the burden can be reduced. So this is all about, children, the different cooperative society according to their operation. Now the next topic or the next form of business organization today we will start, that was joint stock company. Now children, just have a revision how many type of business form of organization we have read. So in the first we have gone through with SP form of business organization, that was sole proprietorship. The second we have read Hindu undivided family. Third we have read about the partnership form of business organization. Then fourth we have read about the cooperative society form of business organization, and this is the fifth and the last, that is joint stock company form of business organization. Now let's start. What is joint stock company? So student, as from the meaning you can see here, joint stock company is a voluntary association of person for profit having a capital divided into transferable share, the ownership of which is the condition of membership. So let me clear you here one thing, that a company means, when I talk about a company, I use the word company, it means joint stock company. Joint stock company is an association of person formed for carrying out business activities and has a legal status independent of its member. This word is very important, independent of its member. It means joint stock company क्या है? joint stock company एक एसोसिएशन है, एक ग्रुप है पीपल्स का, जो कि लोग फॉर्म्ड करते हैं टू कैरी आउट द बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज़ को कैरीड आउट करने के लिए, बट it has a legal status. Joint stock company has a legal status because it is independent from its member. Means the joint stock company and the member of joint stock company both are not dependent on each other. They are independent on each other. They are not dependent in each others. Now how? Student, a company can be described as an artificial person having a separate legal entity, perpetual succession and a common seal. Now children, when we talk about the joint stock company is called as an artificial person. Why artificial person? Because it is independent from its member. It means joint stock company can purchase the share of other company. Joint stock company can sue the cases to other person. That is the reason we call it a person. But why artificial person? Because like a normal person, it cannot eat, it cannot walk, it cannot breathe. That is the reason we call that joint stock company क्या है? Artificial person है, जिसकी separate legal entity है. Separate legal entity means in the eye of law, joint stock company is separate or its member are separate. And it has a perpetual succession. It has a perpetual succession basically means continuity. It means till there is a contract, till the एक्ट कंपनी एक्ट फॉलोड हो रहा है, उसके रूल रेगुलेशन फॉलोड हो रहे हैं, तब तक आपकी जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी रन करती रहेगी. नो मैटर जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी के शेयर होल्डर्स आ रहे हैं और जा रहे हैं. एंड अ कॉमन सील मीन्स जो कि एक ऑथराइज साइन होता है, एक स्टैम्प होता है जो कि वेरीफाइड किया जाता है एवरी डॉक्यूमेंट में. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी. सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर फ्रॉम द डेफिनेशन कि जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी क्या होता है, एक वॉलेंट्री एसोसिएशन होती है पर्सनस की फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ गेटिंग प्रॉफिट and having a capital divided into transferable share. It means for getting the profit, when two people come together, they make associations by investing money also, and these money are formed in a form of transferable share. Transferable share basically means shares can be purchased and sold to any another, and the ownership of which is the condition of membership. Now who is going to be owner? That all are written in the conditions there. Now children, whenever we talk about joint stock company, so the Company Act 2030 is the one which is going to govern the joint stock company. It means the company form of organization is governed by the Company Act 2013. joint stock company को Company Act 2013 govern करती है as per the section of 220 of Act 2013. Now children, the shareholders in the joint stock company are the main owner of the company. It means the owner of the company are the shareholders, but there are board of director who has been selected by the chief managing body, elected from the shareholder side only. They are the one who used to run the joint stock company, who used to take the decision of the joint stock company. The capital of the company is divided into smaller part, which is called share. It means every shareholder used to purchase the share of the company. Now this capital, which is in a smaller part, we call this as a form of share, and these share, whoever have the share of a company is called the shareholder and the owner of the company. But the work of the company is done from the board of director, which is elected by a managing body. Now children, we can able to transfer freely from one to another shareholder except in a private company. It means when we talk about a public company, joint stock company अगर कोई public company है तो वहाँ पे आप अपने shares को, shareholder अपने share को easily एक से किसी दूसरे को sold या बेच या खरीद सकते हैं, but private company not in case of private company. So now let's, according to these all points, let's go through with the features of joint stock company. See, the first feature is the formation. It means how the joint stock company is started. So children, the formation of joint stock company is time consuming, expensive and complicated process. Now whenever we have to start a joint stock company, we have to incorporate it under 2013 or register it under the Company Act 1956. Without registration, no company can come into existence. And even children, during the time of registration or incorporation also, we have to go through with a long or lengthy process, which is time consuming also, or expensive also, and complicated process also. Now this process involves the preparation of several documents and compliance with several legal requirements before it can start functioning. That is the reason we call that the formation of a joint stock company is difficult, a lengthy process, a complicated process, and a very expensive process, because when we used to incorporate the company under the Act of 2030 or when we registered it under Company Act 1956, it took lot of time. So that is the first feature of joint stock company. Now next is artificial person. Joint stock company, as I have told you, is called as an artificial person, and the reason behind that is that a company is creation of law. Joint stock company is created by law and exists independent from its member. Company is separate and the members are separate. Like natural person, a company can own property, it can incur debt, it can borrow money, it can enter into a contract, sue and to be sued from other, but it cannot breathe, eat, run, talk, and that is the reason we call it artificial person. Student, artificial person feature of joint stock company said that because the company is made by law, it have a separate independent legal status फ्रॉम इट्स मेंबर, द मेंबर आर डिफरेंट, मेंबर अलग होते हैं, और जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी का एक अलग लीगल स्टेटस होता है कोर्ट की नज़र में, वो लॉ के थ्रू बनी हुई है, अपने मेंबर्स पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं है। वो प्रॉपर्टी को परचेज, जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी अपने नाम से प्रॉपर्टीज़ को परचेज कर सकती है, सोल्ड कर सकती है, किसी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में एंटर कर सकती है, मनी ले सकती है, मनी दे सकती है, और किसी पे केस कर सकती है। इसलिए हम क्या बोलते हैं, दैट कंपनी क्या है, पर्सन है। लेकिन आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन क्यों बोलते हैं? बिकॉज लाइक नॉर्मल पर्सन, ना जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी सांस ले सकती है, ब्रीथ कर सकती है, ना ईट कर सकती, ना रन कर सकती, नीदर दे आर एबल टू टॉक. That is the reason we call joint stock company is a person but artificial person. Now the next is separate legal existence or separate legal entity. Now because joint stock company is created by law, it is distinct legal entity independent of its member. It can own property, enter into contract and can file suit in own name. Now children, separate legal existence or separate legal entity feature of joint stock company said that from the day of incorporation a company acquire identity distinct from its member. Its assets and liabilities are separate from those of its owner. The law does not recognize the business and owner to be one and the same. Separate legal existence said that the time when the joint stock company get incorporation certificate, जैसे ही joint stock company को incorporation certificate मिलता है, from that time only joint stock company एक अलग होती है और उसके जो members होते हैं legally वो अलग होते हैं. They are not dependent on each other, वो एक दूसरे पर dependent नहीं होते हैं. उनकी अलग assets होती हैं और उनकी अलग liabilities होती हैं ओनर्स के, और कंपनी के अलग एसेट्स और अलग लाइबिलिटीज़ होती हैं. दैट इज़ द रीज़न लॉ की नज़र में जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी अलग चीज़ है और उसके ओनर के हैं अलग होते हैं, एंड वी कॉल दैट सेपरेट लीगल आइडेंटिटी और एग्जिस्टेंस. नेक्स्ट फीचर ऑफ जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी सेट दैट परपेचुअल एग्जिस्टेंस और परपेचुअल सक्सेशन ऑल्सो. नाउ परपेचुअल सक्सेशन सेट that a company bring a creation of the law can be brought to an end only by law. It will only cease to exist when a specific procedure for its closure called winding up is completed. Members may come and member may go, but the company continue to exist. It means perpetual succession or perpetual existing feature of joint stock company said that no matter that member can come and they can leave the company, but a company जो आपकी incorporate होती है joint stock company एक proper legal और law के थ्रू incorporate होती है. तो अगर इसका wind up होगा और अगर ये stop होएगी और end होएगी तो वो भी किसके थ्रू होगी, law के थ्रू होती है. तो इसके ending पे ना ही किसी member के आने और जाने का फ़र्क पड़ता है. Perpetual succession basically said that no matter whether member come or member may go, but the company continue to exist till the proper legal formalities are not done. यानी कंपनी के एंड होने पे मेंबर्स का कोई रिलेशन नहीं होता है. नेक्स्ट इज लिमिटेड लाइबिलिटी. दिस फीचर्स सेड that joint stock company the liability of every member is limited to the nominal value of the share brought by him or her to the amount guaranteed by him. Now transferability of share of public company are easily transferable, but there are certain restriction on transfer of share of private company. Children, this basically said limited liability basically said that when we talk about the liability of joint stock company, the member of joint stock company have the limited liabilities. It means in case there are any debt which has to be paid, in that case the company assets will be sold, not the member assets. Why? Because already we have discussed that in the eye of law member are separate and the company are separate. Now next feature said separation of ownership and control. Now separation of ownership and control features of joint stock company said that management of a company is in the hand of elected representative of shareholders known as individually as director and collectively as board of directors. It means separation of ownership and control. In case of joint stock company, the owner are separate and the company is going to be controlled by a separate person. How? The owner are the one who have purchased the share of a company, who have the share of a company, right? That is shareholder. So shareholders are the main owner of joint stock company. But who is going to run out the company? It is director. It is board of director who is going to run out the company. So that is the reason the ownership has with shareholders and the control is having with board of director. Now common seal. Now common seal feature of joint stock company said that a company may or may not have common seal. It means a company having common seal is not compulsory. A company may have common seal or may not have common seal also. But if a company has a common seal, it must be affixed to the document such as agreement of a company. If a company does not have a common seal, in that the person signing the document should be authorized by board of resolution. It means it's completely a choice. In case of joint stock company, they can have a seal or they cannot have a common seal. But if a joint stock company is having common seal, in that case every document has to be affixed by the common seal of a company. But if company does not have common seal, in that case the person signing the document should be authorized by board of resolution. Next is risk bearing. Risk bearing said that who is going to bear out the risk in the business of joint stock company. So the risk of losses in a company is borne by all the shareholder. This is unlike the case of sole proprietorship or partnership firm, where one or few persons respectively bear the losses. It means who is going to bear out the risk of the joint stock company? It will be the shareholders who will bear out the risk in case it occurred according to the shares they have. Now children, with this we have finished with the features of joint stock company. Let's start the different advantage which joint stock company have. So the first advantage of joint stock company is limited liabilities. Now limited liabilities. Limited liability advantage said that the shareholders are liable to the extent of the amount unpaid on the share held by them. Only the assets of the company can be used to settle the debt, leaving the owner personal property free from any charges. So this is basically reducing the degree of risk borne from the investor's side. It means limited liabilities basically said that in case the company has to pay out any debt to the outside person, so in that case the shareholders' risk are only limited to the amount of share which is not paid by them. It means unpaid amount of share. So in case the shareholder has already paid their amount, so that case, or in any debts are occurred, so in that case the business assets can be sold, but no personal property of shareholder will be sold. That is the reason shareholder have the limited liabilities till according to the contribution of their shares. That's all. Next is transfer of interest. Now transfer of interest basically said easy transferability of share increase the attractiveness of share for the investment. This is the another advantage which we have in joint stock company, that the share of shareholder can easily transfer from one to another person. Whenever the shareholder want to sold their share, they can sold it easily, so that the investment can be attracted or the more and more investment can be done. Now next is perpetual existence. This is the another advantage of joint stock company, that in case a company is not affected by death, insanity or insolvency of a member or change of membership, company can be liquidated only as per the provision of Company Act. It said means in case there is anything wrong occurred with the person or the shareholders of joint stock company, it will not affect company at all. The company will run. The company will only wind up when there is a proper provision done from Company Act. Next is scope for expansion. Now scope for expansion said that a company can collect huge amount of capital from the unlimited number of members who are ready to invest because of limited liabilities, easy transferability and chance of high return. Now student, when we have gone through with other form of organization, there is always a limit for the member. right? But in case of joint stock company, there is no limit for the shareholders. So as more and more shareholder will be there in the company, there will be a huge amount of capital because of unlimited number of members. Now this, they are all are ready to invest. The reason behind this is because they all know that after investment also they will have a limited liability. If anything wrong occurred with the company, their personal assets will not sold, and even in case in future they want to liquidate their shares, easily they can transfer and sold their shares also, and there are chances of high return. So the scope of expansions are more in case of joint stock company. Now next is professional management. Now the professional management basically said that a company can afford to employ highly qualified expert in different area of business management. So why? Because the company does not have any shortage of money. That is the reason they are able to pay out salary to the person who are highly qualified and can able to give them a proper guidance. Now children, the next we have the limitation of joint stock company. Now the first is complex formation legal formalities. This we have read in the features also, that when we talk about joint stock company formation is very complex process, a legal process, and lots of legal formalities are required. So the procedure of formation of company is very long, time consuming, expensive, and required lot of legal formalities to be fulfilled. So this is the one of the disadvantage or drawback of joint stock company, that whenever anybody want to start it, they have to go through with a very lengthy process. They have to give a lot of time, efforts, and they require a lot of knowledge regarding the legal requirement and procedure involved here. Like if we compare it with SP and partnership and other form, easily other form can be started, but joint stock company required lot of time, lot of efforts, and lot of expenses and legal formalities to start it, which make it formation process little bit complex or difficult. Next is lack of secrecy. Now it is very difficult to maintain secrecy in case of public company, as company is required to publish and file its annual account and report. Now children, in case of joint stock company, the Company Act required each public company to provide time to time a lot of information to the office of the registrar of the company. It means joint stock company, if a joint stock company have a public company, अगर उनका पब्लिक फॉर्म ऑफ कंपनी है जॉइंट स्टॉक की, तो द रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस यूज टू आस्क टाइम टू टाइम डेटा ऑफ इट्स कंपनी. उनके अकाउंट्स की डिटेल उनको सबमिट करनी पड़ती है रजिस्टर ऑफिस में, और इस अकाउंट्स की डिटेल को पब्लिश किया जाता है. So this is one of the reason that the company have lack of secrecy, because their data used to be submitted to registered office and which is later on published in the newspaper, and others account details are also published. Next is lack of motivation. Now why there will be lack of motivational impersonal work involvement? Because diverse between ownership and control and absence of a direct link between efforts and reward lead to lack of personal interest and incentive. Now children, diverse between ownership and control, it means the owners are somebody else. Who are the owners of joint stock company? It is shareholders who have the share of a company, and control is with whom? With board of directors. So different peoples are owner, shareholders, and different people are there in the company who are controlling the company, that is board of director. So there is no direct link between the efforts are done from whom? From board of director, and the interests are going to be achieved from whom side? That is owner. So just because of this, no link between the shareholders and the board of directors, or between the efforts and from the reward, there is a lack of motivation and impersonal work involvement. Sometimes the board of director may have that type of feeling that no matter whether the company get profit and losses, we are going to get our salary. In that case, the motivation amount can be decreased. Next is delay in decision making. Why delay in decision making? Because democratic approach and bureaucracy do not permit quick decision and promote action. There is a little scope for personal initiative also. Now children, when we talk about joint stock companies are democratically managed through the board of director, which is followed by top management, middle management, and lower level management. Communication as well as approval of various proposals may cause delay not only in taking decision but also in acting upon them. It means they basically followed the approach of democratic. The board of director has the control, but before taking any decision they have to go through with the top management, middle management, even with the lower level of management also, which sometime took a lot of time for work also, for taking an action also, or even for taking a decision also. So which make a process of decision making delay. Next is oligarchic management. This say that company is said to be democratically managed but actually managed by few people, that is board of director. Sometimes they take decision keeping in mind their personal interest and benefit, ignoring the interest of shareholders. Now this joint stock company form of organization may follow the oligarchic management, which basically said that the decisions are going to be taken from one person, that is the one former person, that is board of director. Sometime because board of directors know that no matter whether the company get more profit, their personal interests are not there because they are not going to get that dividend amount, so they can ignore the interest of shareholders. Next is numerous regulation. Now this is the another drawback which joint stock company has to follow, and that is there are lots of rules and regulation which joint stock company has to go through. The functioning of company is subject to many legal provision and compulsion. A company is burdened with number of restriction in respect of aspect including auditing, like voting, filling of reports and preparation of document, and is required to obtain various certificates from different agencies, like they have to get a certificate from registrar office student, they have to register themselves with SEB, that is SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. So just because of this, it reduces the freedom of operation of a company and take away a lot of time, efforts and money. So basically it become a drawback that they have to follow number of regulation and rules which has been made from Company Act also and from the government side also. Now next is conflict in interest. Now conflict in interest basically said that there may be conflict of interest among various stakeholders of a company. Now who are the stakeholder of a company? Like the employee, for example, employee are the stakeholder of a company, the board of directors, the other people who are working inside the company. And what type of conflict can arise here? Like the employee, for example, may be interested in higher salaries, right? The consumer will be interested in getting higher quality product but in lower prices. Shareholder want higher return in the form of dividend, means more and more profit, right? So what is happening here? Because all the people are having their different interests, so just because of different interests, sometimes that there can be a conflict in interest can be arises, which can harm the company directly or indirectly. Student, with this we have finished with the joint stock company, and in the next video we will read about the types of company, that is private and public. Thank you.